Neil, that is this men's volleyball tournament just gets better and better this year, every year, and this year is no difference. I know you wanted not to highlight necessarily the teams, but some key matchups going into the playoffs and going to the semifinals. Let's begin.
Yeah. So, Boom, before we start, I just want to say that this season of the UAAP Men's Edition, isa to sa mga pinaka-interesting kasi hindi mo talaga alam kung sino yung papasok.
Yes, up for grabs, no? Up for grabs.
NU is the defending champions, yes, but they have to face LaSalle in the playoff for that twice-to-beat advantage.
Right.
So yeah, going back to your point, I wanted to highlight the setters of both teams.
Let's go.
For NU and LaSalle, we have Owar Tamar, who has been the standard in the collegiate ranks, not just in the collegiate ranks. He has been one of the setters for the national team.
Correct.
So I would say na siya rin talaga yung tinitingala. He's #1 in scoring, he's #1 in setting, and he's that type of setter na talagang aggressive when it comes to offense. Then we have a newcomer in Echo Adahar. We saw some of his plays during the Spikers turf. Nakita ko na itong maglaro sa Spikers turf. But then he joined the Green Spikers. He is #4 in setting, and he's one of those setters that I would say is very unpredictable because he has that poker face. Ang tawag nga sa kanya ay nonchalant setter because it's very hard to read his plays with how he moves. It's very minimal, very simple. So that should be a good matchup in the setter's position.
Right, an offensive scorer in Owa has seen it all in the men's volleyball and then going up against, a new guy who's a budding superstar here for DLSU. All right, let's change positions. Who's the next matchup?
I want to highlight Nico Almendras and JM Ronquillo. We talked about the playmakers. Let's talk about their top scorers.
Right.
Nico Almendras, he is one of the graduating seniors for National U, and JM Ronquillo is also one of those veterans na talagang go-to guy ng LaSalle. It's very interesting because they both occupy different positions. Nico Almendras is an outside hitter. JM Ronquillo is an opposite hitter, and he displayed 60% efficiency in their last game against UST.
Wow.
So, magkaiba sila on how they move because ito naman si Nico Almendras, he also is relied upon, especially in the non-scoring skills.
Correct.
But in the end, it will boil down to the main guns of both LaSalle and NU. Again, it's a twice-to-beat advantage heading into that Final Four picture. Sobrang importante nun because ayaw mong magkamali lang ng isang game, wala ka na agad sa finals picture, especially for NU.
So the good news, obviously, virtual best of 3. We'll see this matchup. JM #6 in scoring. Sorry, JM #4 in scoring, and Nico at #6. All right, let's go to the UST-FEU matchup. 1 and 4. Set na yan. And kudos to UST. They were already set to #4, but they really went all out against LaSalle in that last matchup. Tell me about the first matchup. I think this one's very obvious.
It is interesting to see both teams on this matchup because UST was last season's finalist.
Correct, yes.
They were against NU, but they really started slow in round #1. They did pick up their performance in round 2, but ultimately they fell short, but they still managed to enter the Final Four. Drix Saavedra and Josh Ibanez will be the players to highlight for both teams.
Josh has not slowed down, for the record.
No,
The team has a little bit, but yes, go ahead.
Josh Ibanez is our rookie MVP. And right now he is the #1 scorer by a mile. Second was Gian Salarzon of Ateneo at 255 points. Josh had 329. But the difference between Josh Ibanez and Drix Saavedra would be the support. Drix Saavedra has that high efficiency every game. Yung kay Josh, yes, mataas pa rin yung porsyento niya. He's at 44%. But when it comes to the support, mas malaki yung nakukuhang suporta ni Drix Saavedra from his teammates. So that is something that USD needs to work on if they do want to get one win against FU, because when they drag them to game 3, I mean game 2, it's anybody's ball game.
Is that the reason why UST has dropped a little bit, or is it the other teams getting better? But when I say, is that the reason, the support for Josh Ibanez?
I would say na it's a little of both.
Okay.
Teams have been improving, but on the side of UST, there are some games na hindi nagsasabay-sabay yung laro.
Okay.
And that's a big factor in collegiate sports na pag isa lang yung gumagana, it's very difficult to carve out a win.
Right.
That's why everybody needs to get involved. Now, it's already the semifinals, so wala na talagang excuses. Everybody has to show up and bring their A game.
Little bit of a scare, of course, for the UST game last time. Josh Ibanez went down. Butin lang. Looked like it was cramps, no?
Yeah.
Neil, in a non-bearing game for them. So you don't want to lose. Yung buong UST crowd, medyo, they held their breath just for a second. Right. We have time just for one last matchup. And Neil, who are you talking about here?
Ariel Cacao and Dax Yambao, also setters for FEU and UST.
Right.
Ang ganda ng Final Four kasi yung Final Four natin, yung top 4 setters nandun sa lahat ng teams.
Correct.
So it's always going to be the battle of the playmakers. They are the brains of the team. They orchestrate the plays.
Yes.
They talk to their receivers as to kung saan nila gustong malagay yung pasa, and even the attackers, they also give instructions.
Right.
So it's like an all-around player on the floor. Parang nagiging second coach din sila sa loob.
They try to fool the defenders and the blockers of the other team.
And both setters have to get the other players running. Sometimes as a setter, you have to force your attackers to perform at a very high level by giving them excellent sets.
Right.
At the very least, yun yung pwede mo ma-contribute dun sa team. And they have done really well in the past few games. So I am looking forward to how they will be bringing their own style of play, because in the last game of UST, hindi masyadong ginamit si Dax Yambao. Coach Oji used the second setter in Avila, but I'm sure come the playoff,
the actual semi-final.
Dax Yambao,
And these are the highlight players for Neil, but that doesn't mean there won't be any X factors in these 4 teams. FEU and UST, and then of course NU and LaSalle for that twice-to-beat advantage. FEU is already at number 1, UST at number 4. Let's get the semifinals going. It's going to be exciting.